Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Frequently Asked Question Friday. And today I'm going to be answering what larger company am I associated with? And really what people, when they ask me that, are trying to get at is what resources can I possibly have to compete against large companies like a Wells Fargo, Edward Jones, things of those nature. And I'd say I'm not affiliated with anyone like that, and it's on purpose. I wanted to maintain independence as much as I possibly could, and it's been so rewarding for me, and I think it adds a tremendous amount of value for my clients. So let's talk about why people are concerned with that, or why that's just such a common question. So in the past 10-15 years ago, it would have been ridiculous for me to even think about starting my own company, just because of the startup cost. The resources were not as easily available, because if there was resources that I'd want to use, typically they'd only be reserved for really large institutions. So a lot of it, smaller advisors weren't able to go independent quite as easy as they are today. I can definitely thank technology. A lot of my clients are in the technology sector. So yeah, thank you for you guys and the innovation that's constantly occurred, because it reduced the cost of entry for me to be able to have those same resources that an Edward Jones, Charles Schwab, Wells Fargo, but be able to right size it for my situation and my clients, and still be able to be profitable. So that used to be a big hindrance, and it would have made sense for me if I wanted to jump out on my own to tie in with one of those larger companies. So that isn't the reality though anymore. So that's one big thing to be aware of. The other is thinking that they had more resources to add value. What I've been finding, and I think you kind of experience it most likely just through your everyday life and other service areas in your life, where they're just really rigid. Maybe they're not adding as much value as they were before. That's one thing I see with the larger companies, that they're not able to make those transitions and really be able to service the end client quite as well, because as they get bigger, it's harder for them to pivot and make changes, and it's really hard for them to treat the clients as individuals and families as the kind of unique situations. And that's super important to me. I've never built a cookie cutter plan, and I never plan to. But that's what these larger kind of institutions have to move towards, because as they get bigger, more clunkier, you have to try to automate things and put people into cookie cutter boxes as much as possible to save on time and efficiency and cost. An interesting thing though is, even as they do that, the value and the experience is less of a positive value for the end client. And actually, but you'd be like, all right, well, fine, maybe we can trade that off a little bit, because maybe it's going to cost a little bit less to be associated with people. That's typically not the case though. Like, typically the cost is the same, if not more, to be put in a cookie cutter situation, a cookie cutter portfolio. And unfortunately, that's just the case. Even if you have a really highly trained certified financial planner, maybe they have a CPA as well, and really knowledgeable and can do all these things, sometimes they're just so busy, or they're so their hands are tied because of all the other layers of complexity that they have to deal with above them, that they're not able to truly add the value that they want to add for you. So I think those are the main points I want to address. So bigger is not always better, and a lot of that can be linked towards technology. And I think, although I would have needed to be associated with a larger company, I've been extremely happy with all the resources I have now. I can throw a quick shout out to the XY Planning Network, which helps young firms like mine have access to these resources at an even deeper discount than just going straight to the companies themselves. So that's been super helpful with me and for my clients, where I'm able to keep the cost at a reasonable amount for them as well. So yeah, I'm definitely excited and extremely happy. I'm 100% independent, and I don't have those ties that would complicate things for my clients, increase fees for my clients, or create additional conflicts of interest in an industry that already has a lot of conflicts of interest as it is. So hopefully that was informative for you, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions. There's definitely a lot more I could dive into as far as pros and cons, but I think those are the main reasons why people ask the questions, and really my reasoning for my answer of being independent and not having those associations. Have a great weekend, everyone, and take care.